Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Here we talk about gymnastics, all the things involving it, and right now we are doing a Gymnastics for Dummies special. I'm going to be going over the front handspring front tuck / front handspring front pike on floor. So these are my two current level 7s. They just competed this meet just about a month ago, and so I want to get into their front handspring front tuck. They both have a little bit different of technique, so I'm going to go back and forth and show you what's different, kind of give you some tips and tricks on how to improve your front handspring front tuck. First and foremost, always start with an aggressive run. That should just be pretty obvious, but you would be surprised how many girls walk into their tumbling passes. Could never be me. I needed all of the running speed that I could get, so please run fast into your tumbling passes. Right here in her hurdle, you will see her knee is pretty good. Her chest is a little high for me in the hurdle. We always talk about whenever we are coaching the girls on their hurdles. The hurdles stay the same, whether it's on floor or whether it's, on vault, your hurdle's pretty much gonna be the same. I need her hurdle to be a little bit more forward, leaning forward a little bit, having that chest down, really driving her hands forward. You can see where her hands are right now. Her fingers are facing up towards the ceiling, and I would prefer them kind of reaching more forward. And I'll be able to show you the difference between hers and the other girls because their hurdles do look a little bit different. So we want to be reaching forward into that hurdle. Next, as she goes into the front handspring, notice her needle kick. So when you go into a front handspring, you really want to focus on a strong needle kick. So that's going to happen with your bad leg. So really making sure that you're in a strong mountain climber, which you'll see right here. She starts that mountain climber and then she starts kicking her needle right about now. And what that needle kick does is it kind of just catapults you over your hands in that front handspring. So if you're not kicking your bad leg very hard into your front handspring, it's going to be a difficult skill to do. You want to be reaching forward, you want to have a strong needle kick, and you want to keep driving that needle kick in the front handspring throughout the whole front handspring. It's not enough just to start it in the beginning. You have to finish every skill, and whenever you start a skill, the way you start it, that same effort, finish it. It's not enough to just, oh, okay, I ran as fast as I could and now I'm just gonna see what happens and just float through the air and magically land on my feet. That's not how it works. You have to keep working through the skill. You have to keep kicking. And then what gets tricky with gymnastics in general, because it's hard, but what gets tricky in gymnastics is as you're doing that needle kick, it's obviously going to create momentum and it's going to create power. You've got to be able to keep up with that momentum and power with the rest of your body. So when she goes into her front handspring and that needle kick is really fast, she's got to get that other foot met with that bad foot, and then she has to follow it up with her chest. So that's what we'll check in right here. She does her needle kick. That other foot is starting to meet it, which is good. Another thing that's super important in gymnastics is all about multitasking, which makes it really difficult a lot of the times. So not only is she focusing on that needle kick and getting her feet together, but she also has to focus right here on her block. Boom. Blocking off her hands. I want those feet to come together a little bit sooner, and you'll see why. You see right here, she's twisted. That's because two reasons. One, her hands were a little uneven and she's not picking up her left side fast enough to keep it up with the right side. And also her legs still aren't together. I would want them together a little bit sooner to help prevent that twisting. So those are the two things that I would improve on that front handspring. And you can see right here, you see how she's kind of twisted in her shoulders. Her right leg is not closed with her left leg. So she needs to close those legs together a little bit faster. Whoops. So out of that front handspring, she comes out a little bit crooked. So you can see right here, she's punching a little lopsided. And this can be an issue for a lot of things. If she learns a twist out of this, that's gonna become an issue because her body's basically already twisted. This is gonna cause back issues, shoulder issues, hip issues. So you really wanna be doing your best technique-wise because the technique will save your body. We have to protect our bodies as gymnasts or any athletes, but a lot of the technique that we do, it results in the injuries that we are feeling or in the little tweaks. So one thing just to really be sure is that everything is being kept up together. Keep your arms moving at the same time, feet moving at the same time. Get them together as fast as you can in that front handspring. Notice where her eyes are. She does a good job out of that front handspring. Now with front handsprings, it's about a timing. Everything's timing in gymnastics, but for the front handspring specifically, coming out of that front handspring, you do want your head back, But then as you're coming up out of that front handspring, you got to get your eyes up and your chin up to be ready for the next skill. So she does a good job at the timing. She does her front handspring right as her feet hit the floor. Her eyes are looking up where they need to be, and she's able to have her eyes up and look forward going into the front flip. Now right here in her front flip, she does kind of go a little bit downward. Instead, I always, make a visual for my gymnasts, like pretend you're flipping over a rainbow. Like, what is the shape of a rainbow? It's rounded, it's high, and it has a good arch. So whenever you're going into that front tuck, we want 2 out of that front handspring. Think about grabbing a basketball and throwing it over the rainbow and then creating the flip instead of just doing a front handspring punch and then flipping downward. So always love to kind of use the rainbow analogy. I use it on cartwheels, side aerials, front tucks, whatever. So pretend you're going over that rainbow right here and then having those arms up above your head going into the front flip. She does a pretty good job at her front handspring front tuck, and then just coming out of that front tuck, seeing the ground, and then just being ready for it a little bit more, so just staying tighter in her body. Let's move on to the next girl who does the pike. You'll notice right here in her hurdle. Now she does a good job at having her hands more forwards towards her forehead. Whenever you're doing your hurdle, you really don't want to have those arms reaching above your head. You want them kind of going at an angle, and she does a good job of that, going it like towards your forehead, right towards your eyes, looking down your hands in the hurdle. Reaches to the ground. She does a strong needle kick. Notice how she brings her feet together a little bit faster. Now her feet are already together and she hasn't even touched the floor yet, so that's really good. She has a very good front handspring, and this is why. She does the technique to have a good front handspring. She gets off her hands pretty well. You'll notice her right arm is a little bit slower right there than her left arm, but it's not bad. I'm also doing this in slow motion, but she does get it up pretty quick right there. As you see now, they're even, and you see how she's not twisted because she got those arms up at the same time. Her feet are together at the same time and everything is moving forward. Another thing to think about that's crucial in the front handspring technique is pushing your belly button and your hip flexors forward in the direction that you're wanting to flip, but making sure you're not doing it in this loose arch. You want to have a tight belly, you want to have tight hip flexors, and you want to have a tight booty going into that punch so you can withstand the punch. Now as she goes into her front flip, she does a good job of having those arms up first, as you will see right here. Right there. She has her arms up. She has them a little bit preparing for the front pike, but again, this is all in slow motion and she does a good job. Now going into the front pike itself, her eyes are up. She has a nice big open. See where she's looking down. She's in a hollow hold in the air right now. She is looking down her toes so she can see the ground, and she has a pretty good opening timing. She sees that ground. Now you'll notice out of this front pike, she's been having some air awareness issues on her front pike, so she kind of didn't know when to stop the opening, and we've been working a lot of drills with her, and she figured out after this meet the timing a little bit better, but this meet specifically, she was kind of having air awareness issues. So you can tell right here, because look, she starts opening and she keeps opening, she keeps pulling. Look how she's landing. She's like in this arch. Her feet are behind her hips because she's like, I don't know where the floor is. I don't even know where I am right now. So she just keeps opening up her hips and her feet end up going behind her, which if you know basic physics, if her feet are behind her and her momentum's going this way, she's going to kind of just ricochet forward. She does a good job of preventing that from happening because she's strong, but that could have been pretty bad. So, and as you see, she kind of gets out of control in that landing, but she covers it well. So she needs to just stop the opening right about here. That way, as she stops the opening, her momentum will take her right above her feet. She could have probably stuck that, or at least have a controlled landing coming out of the front handspring front pike. All right, guys, that is it. I hope you learned something and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for supporting me here on the channel. Comment below other things that you would like to see. Continue to support me here. I need a lot of support on this channel. It does take time to make these videos, and if I'm not getting the subscribers that I need or the support that I need to make these videos, it almost becomes almost not worth it, if I'm being quite honest, because like, who am I making these videos for if nobody's gonna watch them? So please continue to support me on this journey. I really, really want to grow this YouTube channel to be so many things involving gymnastics and help and coaching and judging and all of those things. I will be making a video quite soon, more geared towards judging and the deductions that we're looking for, that we see, and things like that. So stay tuned and check that out. All right, guys, thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe, follow me on all of my social medias to keep up to date. Send me your gymnastics review videos if you want me to check them out. If there are routines from a meet, you can send them to me, but I cannot give you a score or judge them per se because they've already been judged, but I will still be able to point out to you where deductions could happen, and it'll still be a good video. If it's a routine from practice, then I can go all in. I can give you a score, I can give you deductions, and all of that stuff. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.